Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to cover cases. This was something someone had asked me about, so I thought I would go over into covering three things, which is one, what cases are in Georgian, two, what cases do, and then three, the 7 cases in Georgian. So starting with number one, what are cases in Georgian? They're basically just words, usually nouns, with different spellings, which give it a specific function. Okay, so taking two of the cases in Georgian, the first one is nominative case. If we take the word adamiani, which means person, to make it the nominative case, it's marked by that I there, so adamiani. To make it the dative case, which is a second case in Georgian, we say adamians with an S. We take the word kartopili, which is potato, and to make it nominative, it's marked again with that I, so it's kartopili. To make it dative, we use the S and we say kartopils. Okay. Now, so what do these cases do? Um, Depending on which verb you use, the cases will mark, say, the subject or the object or the indirect object, or that should be possessive. 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 Um, um, where was I? So in English, if we say the person is eating the potato, the way that we mark the subject and the object is by word order. So if we wanted to say, to change that around, we could say the potato is eating the person, and so we would change the subject and the object in that case. But in Georgian, word order is pretty fluid, so the way they mark things like that is by cases. So going back to the person is eating the potato, we say adamiani, which in this case is nominative, and with this specific type of verb, it's a transitive verb in the present progressive, and the present subjunctive. That may sound like a lot of grammar, but just if for future reference you need to come back and figure out what verb I was talking about, there it is. Anyway, so in this case, the nominative marks the subject, so it's adamiani. Chams, which is eats or is eating. Kartopils, so potato is in dative case. Now, if we wanted to switch that around and say the potato is eating the person, we don't have to switch word order, we just change the cases. So in this case, we say adamians, and we put person in the dative case, which makes it now the object. Chams is eating. Kartopili, which is potato in the nominative case, making it the subject. So there you can see just how changing the case of a noun changes the function. So if you need to go back and listen to that again, go ahead and do that. Now let's cover the 7 cases in Georgian. It's going to be nominative. So in this case, we would say adamiani, adamiani. Dative, adamians. Genitive or possessive. So nominative and dative, they can be the subject, the object. Nominative can be the subject, the object, and dative can be the subject, the object, or the indirect object, so it's a bit confusing. Genitive is possessive, so that's just marking the possession of something. So in this case, it's adamianis. Ergative, adamianma, that's always going to be the subject. It generally is in the past, but could be in the present. Instrumental, that case is usually used for like using something as an instrument or tool, or going by means of something. So if I say like going by train, I would say matare blit, which is like by train. Matare beli is train. So adding that it at the end, or that ending, you get instrumental. Adverbial, just making something into an adverb. So adamianad. Vocative is the case where if you're like talking to someone specifically, so adamiani, if I'm saying that to you specifically, I would say adamiano, like, hey man, like I'm talking to you specifically. To do this with another example with the word girl, so go, in nominative, dative, gos, genitive, also gos, ergative, gom, instrumental, goti, adverbial, god, and vocative, go also. So in this video, I don't have time to go over how to change a whole bunch of different words into all the different cases. that would take way too long. But this hopefully give you a brief overview into kind of, again, just what cases are, what they do, and then the cases in Georgian. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. Just going forward, I think for the beginners, this is not something you want to focus on too much because it could get overwhelming real quick. Just kind of focus on what's most practical or what's most pertinent for you to learn how to say, and just memorize those things. You'll slowly acquire, I think, kind of the feel for cases. For the intermediate learners, I think it is important to learn if you want to reach an intermediate level or beyond. You definitely have to learn cases, so start diving into them. Learn examples as well as start learning the patterns too if you can. So, all right, until next time, throw a beat.